Hello everyone, I'm so glad to be here, guys. So my first video that I just uploaded day before yesterday was actually a flop, guys, only 12 views. But I'm not stopping there, I want to climb to the top, so yes, here I am making my second video. If you like it, please like and subscribe. Of course, let's get into the topic. So here in this video, guys, I played in and I just completed Far Cry 3 once and been playing it for the second time here, guys. I reached the same mission I just been the last day, so that's actually great. So I just made up a conclusion. So the conclusion is that Far Cry 3 is still the best Far Cry game, guys. So these are the 5 reasons why Far Cry 3 is still the best Far Cry game. So let's get into it. So of course, guys, all Far Cry games are pretty much based on the same theme. What I mean by all Far Cry games is that Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, and Far Cry 5, and of course I very much believe Far Cry 5 will also be the same. The main theme of a Far Cry game is pretty much an island ruled by someone or just some evil guy, and we have to beat them and just make the island free and everything better and make everyone's life better. That's the main theme of Far Cry game. And of course every Far Cry game is pretty much succeeded in that, so I'm pretty much saying it in terms of every Far Cry game, because every Far Cry game pretty much succeeded in it, and I'm so glad. I'm pretty much very glad about it. So first of all, let me get into the first thing why Far Cry 3 is better than Far Cry 4. So the first thing is the characters, guys. So both Far Cry games have pretty interesting characters like Pagan, Was, Hoyt, Sapal, Mita, like that. So in Far Cry 3 they are much more better. Actually, the villain is the main reason why we love Far Cry 3. The villain in Far Cry 3, Was Montenegro, is not only the best villain in the Far Cry series, but also one of the greatest we have ever seen in the history of video games, which is pretty much exciting. The thing is, both games just made great characters, but Far Cry 3 is pretty much the best in them. Actually, in Far Cry 3, we got a lot of cutscenes with Was, while in Far Cry 4, there's only a few cutscenes with Pagan. Actually, 3 of them: the ending, the beginning, and one mission in a glacier. It's pretty much it. But in Far Cry 3, you're getting plenty more cutscenes with the villain Was Montenegro, which is pretty much very exciting. And it gives us more knowledge about the character, which is pretty great. And of course Far Cry 3 has many more great characters like Bug, Hoyt. They are all pretty much great, well created, and we can see how evil they are through the cutscene. So in terms of characters, Far Cry 3 is an excellent choice. It's an excellent choice. So another thing that I actually loved about Far Cry 3 more than Far Cry 4 is actually the storyline. In Far Cry 3 we have a very good storyline, and it's pretty much very well created. So in terms of storyline, Far Cry 3 do have a majority over Far Cry 4. In Far Cry 3 we know what is happening, and we have to just make it better, and we are working for it. We have a very clear destination to go. We have a very clear target to do. We do have a thing to do, but it is not at all as great as what in Far Cry 3 we do have. In Far Cry 3 it's actually saving friend's life and going back home, which is great. In Far Cry 4 it's just putting his mom's ash near Lakshmana. That's it. There's a huge difference, I think, that I do think you also think that way. And I do think you also think that way. So the number third reason why Far Cry 3 is better than Far Cry 4 is actually the optimization in the PC version. So Far Cry 3 is actually greatly optimized for the PC version, that actually pretty much a good graphics card can get almost 80 FPS to 90 FPS, while in Far Cry 4 the optimization is very bad. So of course, I don't think I have more to say about it. You all know it. I know you know it, so that's it. And the fourth reason why Far Cry 3 is actually better than Far Cry 4 is actually the reality of characters behavior to others. Like the main character, for an example, in Far Cry 3, Jason Brody is a magnificent character and he got a great design. But for the first mission, in my previous video, I just recorded that he was not actually willing to fire and kill anybody. But in Far Cry 4, he's just then asking Amita, I will go take over a big outpost by his own at first, guys. I don't think it's pretty much believable. So I do think it's pretty much not believable. So in terms of reality and main characters, Far Cry 3 is a beast, one of the best I have seen so far. So now the last and final reason why Far Cry 3 is actually better than Far Cry 4 is actually the things they made new in this game. So before Far Cry 3, the latest Far Cry game was Far Cry 2, obviously, and you all know that. That's nothing new. And they just made a lot of improvements, made a better place to take the gameplay and better characters. They made a lot of new things to do, better explorations, better wildlife, and every new stuff. And while Far Cry 4, I would like to call Far Cry 4 more likely to be Far Cry 3.1, 3.1 or 3.2, maybe 3.5, not at all improved from the previous versions, while Far Cry Primal actually improved a lot from it. So in this video I generally spoke more about Far Cry 4 than Far Cry Primal, and I think the main reason why I do so is that Far Cry Primal is not at all a main game, released as a main game in Far Cry. Of course it is a big game, it is just made in the same seriousness, they just made the game giving the same seriousness they give to Far Cry 3, but it's actually not in Far Cry series. It never counted because it's pretty much like a Far Cry Dragon. So when I took Far Cry Primal also, the story is pretty much same. Far Cry 3 got better graphics. Sorry, that is wrong. Far Cry Primal has better graphics, but better storyline, better characters. So pretty much is. I would like to conclude this video. There are many of Far Cry games which just made us enjoyable, but Far Cry 3 really has a majority among them in terms of gameplay, better performance, and something like that. But it's totally up to you guys. If you think Far Cry 4 is better, it's just up to you because it's often different among people. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll upload my next video too. Goodbye for now. Please like and subscribe. If you hate, unlike and just comment below. Anything you want, I will make it for you. Thank you.